We'd like to thank first of all Alpenlight for promoting for the Consolevania Top 100.
Only 70 calories per bar.
Cherry Bakewell. Let's get started. We're going from 20 down to 11 finally.
Hi guys, welcome to the best videos on YouTube.
Best video game of all time, 20 down to 11. I'm going to get started. Number 20. Let's start by smashing a big forearm into the list with a wonderful Dreamcast wrestling game, Giant Gram 2000. Giant Gram 2000 is a Naomi arcade game on a Dreamcast. Absolutely fantastic. Me and Kenny at Consolevania used to play this constantly. We get so good at it. We would have these epic long matches. We're just constantly reversing each other. Amazing effects when you crack each other's bones and stuff like that. 50% crack, 70% crack. Just an amazing game. Introduced me to the likes of Kenta Kobashi, Misawa, Kawada, got me into all that All Japan stuff, Noah stuff. Giant Gram 2000, still one of the greatest wrestling games ever made. Number 20. 20th best game ever made.
20th best.
Ryan, bring us on in.
My 20th best is a shoot 'em up, which I don't have many of, and this is a game that is R-Type. And R-Type is a game that bumped a couple of other shoot 'em up games off my list, because even though I played R-Type after it, when I played it I went, right, that's where they got that idea for. The atmosphere of R-Type is really quite unique for a shoot 'em up. It's very dark and moody, and you can go onto YouTube now and you can watch like a playthrough of R-Type, which I encourage you not to do, but you can do that, and it's like 25 minutes. Like if somebody's a perfect player of R-Type, you can play start to finish in about 25 minutes. You can't do that, and I can't do that. But it's one of the first loads of character for a shoot 'em up game.
Alright,
I think it's the highest ranking shoot 'em up game that I've got.
Whoa!
It's R-Type.
Whoa!
It's R-Type. I'm shite at shoot 'em ups, but it's one of my top 20th of all time.
It might be shite at shoot 'em ups, but I tell you, he isn't shite at shite 'em ups. Oh! Here you go, Jerry.
My top 20th this game is Settlers. On the Amiga, obviously. I just like my real-time strategy games.
Thanks to Amiga Workbench for sponsoring this episode of
Amiga 500 fans.
That's 140 calories.
It does stack up,
That
that's
is
the problem.
140.
Yeah, you're kind of defeating the object there. And the object in Settlers was to create a city, and it's just a perfect real-time strategy game. It was absolutely nailed. With this one, it looks beautiful. It was fun to play, and it absorbed all of my time in 1993.
I know of Settlers, but what's really weird is that I haven't played it.
You not played Settlers?
Nah, I've never played it.
Number 19. Right.
Who put him in charge?
I don't know.
Number 19 is a game that has already been on Robert's list quite a while ago, about 3 or 4 years ago when we started this list. And it's an arcade game, and it's Bobble. Now, similar to what R-Type is like, Bobble to me almost feels like, in a way, perfect. Because what there is of Bobble is just everything about it is pristinely precision made, and the atmosphere of it, the music of it, maybe younger people can't appreciate that black screen and the atmosphere that you get from just being locked into that black screen with the levels and that music.
Shit, it was my number 48.
48. Number 19, Bobble, one of the best arcade games I've ever played, and I'm 60 years old.
It was on my list as well, so shut up.
That's sweet.
That's what it started with.
Number 19 is the newest game on the list for me. It's a game for last year. It's a PC RPG, although it's new, came out on the consoles, and it really is second to none. It's a Divinity Original Sin 2. Divinity Original Sin 2 is a brilliantly written RPG game in that old fucking Baldur's Gate style. I'll tell you something about it, right? The fights in this game are so much fun. You can spend 2-3 hours just playing one fight and having a great time. The combat system's so clever. It's just an absolutely unbelievably brilliant game. It's Divinity Original Sin 2. Jerry, what's your number 19?
Do you know what? Interesting enough. I'm going to swap these two round. No, I won't. I'm going to go for Rampage. On the Amiga as well, another game. But a lot of these games...
The monsters.
The monsters. There is
the big monkey on the...
Yeah, and the big lizard and the big... what else was that? Big lizard, big monkey.
Sure, what's on your list, mate? I don't...
But we never went the other one. And for me though, a lot of games are connected with what you remember at the time, and this was a game I played a lot with my brother, and they're just smashing up buildings. It's just simple fun, and it just feels very cathartic when you're a kid to just smash things up in record time. So Rampage for me is a special place in my heart.
Rampage, now available as a feature film, starring The Rock. Number 18. No,
I'll
go first.
Do you know what? Actually, this is quite good because I was toying with these two.
No,
so
right,
actually, it kind of fits.
And
it's a relative. It's the newest game in my top 100, and I had to put it in because I was thinking it's God of War. On the PS4.
The new one.
The new one, because I was thinking I've had other God of Wars in my top 100, and I so thoroughly enjoyed the last God of War that I'm still currently playing it, still going back to it. I love the story. There's plenty of emotion in it. It looks beautiful. The fighting systems are brilliant to play. I thought it's got to go in. I don't know if it would have been in quite so high, but it had to go in. It felt like it had to go in. It deserves to be there, and it's a fantastic game. God of War.
Okay. Right then, well that was your number 18?
Yep.
My number 18 is a game on the 3DO. It's a game that I don't think has ever really been properly imitated or recaptured. A very, very simple game of capture the flag, really, and it's called Return Fire. Return Fire is a two-player game on the one console, split-screen game where you take over control of a variety of jeeps and tanks and stuff like that, and just fucking go as fast as possible to the other guy's base, grab his flag, get back to your base, and it's just mayhem. It's hilarious. It makes me feel sick thinking about it. It's wonderful. Return Fire, 3DO.
It's one of the games that I remember. I mean, this goes for the 3DO anyway, but it's one of the games Return Fire that I remember playing it and going, how is this possible?
Yes.
How did they make this?
Yes.
This is fucking incredible. My number, what we on 18, is probably going to cause an argument. I'm not really up for it, and it's part of a trilogy that everybody loves that's in the games, and my number 18 is Shadow of the Colossus. Disrespect. Probably the third one that I'm talking about in this video that's got, again, great atmosphere. It's very, as I'm sure I've said in the earlier videos, it's a very lonely game, and you kind of grow. I said this in the Consolevania review about 20 years ago. You kind of work on a kind of companionship with these things that you have to kill to get to progress to the end of the game. It's just beautifully atmospheric, and you've got your horse, and you fight big things.
Okay.
Number 17,
my number
Jerry.
17 is another Amiga game.
Should have had more enthusiasm for what I just said there. I'm disappointed.
Overlander on the Amiga. Was a car game, an outlaw car game, and I remember at the time just going, these graphics are incredible. The effect it had on me was incredible. Overlander on the Amiga was I'm not a big cars kind of fan or whatever. It was like pre-Lotus Turbo. Listen, you guys just don't appreciate the Amiga like I appreciate Overlander on the Amiga. Incredible. Outlaw cars.
My number 17 is an N64 game. It's Mystical Ninja. Mystical Ninja is one of the funniest games you'll ever play in your life. It's absolutely bananas. It has amazing music in it. It's an amazing game within itself. Really, really brilliant, fun game. But it's just completely off the wall, crazy, incredibly entertaining to watch, and superb to play. It's the kind of game that I love. I love a good Japanese, tongue-in-cheek, daft, surreal video game, and Mystical Ninja is the epitome of that.
The gutting thing is you can't emulate it. I've tried many times.
All you need to do is just load up your N64. You go, Ryan. Number 17.
Number 17, probably in a lot of people's top 10. I put in number 17, my favourite, and in my opinion the best Zelda game, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It was out 2017, which was last year. If you're watching this in the future, this was recorded in 2018. And 2017 was an incredibly fucking good game for a good year for games.
Like Zelda things.
It's the only thing that holds Breath of the Wild back from being lower down on the list is my complete 100% confidence that Nintendo are going to make a better Zelda game at some point in the future.
Yep. Have you done your 17, Jerry?
Yes, I've done it.
Okay. I'll blast straight into the 16s then. I don't know what's happening with my phone here. Number 16 for me is another N64 game. Show my N64 t-shirt. It is F-Zero X. Now, F-Zero X is, for me, the ultimate arcade racing game. I mean, this is the arcade racing game. It has violence, it has speed, it takes skill, it takes bravery as well, a bit of risk-reward in playing F-Zero X. It looks beautiful, kinda. It's a perfect match. The game is a perfect match for the style of the N64, and I just love it. F-Zero X is a game I could stick on the now and happily play all day long. Love F-Zero X.
And you can emulate F-Zero. Big shout out to the thieves.
Number 16?
16. I'm the only one piling loads of football games into the top 100. I'm going to have to now put in Pro Evolution Soccer. It's got to go in at some point. It was the old master of football. It was a game changer. Which one am I going to pick? It's the difficult one. Have you mentioned Winning 11 already? Ram, I think it's already got a mention, Winning 11, but I'm not going to go for Winning 11 anyway. I'm going to go for a classic Pro Evo. It's either 5 or 6, probably 6.
Here's Kaku. Don't give it away there. And Kaku.
Which I think had Ronaldo on the front cover and just had some cool moves for the first time in it. Drag backs and things like that. Pro Evolution 6, back when Pro Evo was good.
Wow. It's going to make enemies.
I know.
16, Ryan?
Number 16, something that hasn't come up yet, but I'm expecting it to come up again. Probably. See, I recognise things about games. Definitely when I look at the top 20, I can see certain trends some games are quite lonely, etc., etc. But one of the trends I see is that there is an argument to be made for an awful lot of my games feeling a little bit incomplete. Not quite like the full rounded package, but what I like about the games is so important to me that I put it high on my list. I have so much affection for the game that I can overlook other things, which is what I do an awful lot of time with indie games. But number 16 is probably the most perfect game on my entire list, and it is Resident Evil 4.
Fucking Madlow.
Ah?
Madlow.
It is, as I say, I acknowledge that it is one of, if not the best all-round, best made game on my list. It's
Not horror game, best all-round.
I think best game probably. I can recognise that it is pretty flawless as a game, and it came out of nowhere as well. It's like nobody was expecting that to happen.
It's too scary.
And it isn't. It's not scary in the way. Anyway.
Jumpy.
Anyway, it's a fucking unbelievable belter. Resident Evil 4.
Well, my number 15 is Dark Souls.
Is that just revenge for what I said?
No, Dark Souls.
What number?
15.
Unbelievable.
Dark Souls is obviously has been as much a curse as a blessing for video games now. Every fucking indie game developer is trying to make something that's like Dark Souls but 2D. But it's a brilliant game with a fantastic sense of place. It is known for its difficulty, but isn't actually that difficult. It's just a game you need to take your time with. And it's very similar to games like King's Field and stuff like that from Software in the past, where you have to almost...
It's not as fucking difficult as King's Field.
No, it's never near as difficult as King's Field, but just games where you need to slow your pace down and just expect advancement at a different rate for other games. But it's, you don't even need to talk about Dark Souls too much now, because nobody ever fucking shuts up about it, and rightly so. It's a great game. Number 15, Dark Souls.
My number 15, I think it's the only Sega Genesis game that I've got on my list. It's Road Rash 2. Yet again, more of an affection thing, because I didn't have that console. My pal had one. I went round, and Road Rash was incredible. I'd liked Road Rash before, but I think that was the first time I'd like the nitrate, what's called the injection, the fuel injection.
Is that what your pal gave you?
Just loved it. It appealed to me.
Your
Just
pal
the
gave
violence and speed. It was like
Your pal
Overlander
gave you-
and fighting.
Your pal gave you a fuel injection.
My pal gave me a fuel
Road Rash.
injection, and he also had a
You can get a cream for that, I think, Road Rash.
Road Rash 2.
Jerry's,
Available in a cream format.
Jerry's blasting in the football games. I'm the one that's blasting in the wrestling games. My number 14.
I've not done 15.
You've not done 15?
No.
Sorry. Ryan's number 15, first of all.
Ryan's number 15 is a Sega Saturn game, and it is the Sega Saturn game, and even if they'd only made this game for the Sega Saturn, it would have made the Sega Saturn one of the best consoles ever made, and it is Panzer Dragoon Saga. And let me just recap the story of what happened to my copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga. I put it on eBay, right? It's a funny story. I put it on eBay, and a guy bought it, and I sent it to him, but I didn't send it recorded delivery, and then he said I didn't get it, and I was 120 quid out of pocket.
Yes.
The design of Panzer Dragoon Saga is beautiful, and it's an ugly fuckery of game to play nowadays. You can't emulate it. You need to get a Saturn and buy a really expensive copy of it. But it's worth it. It's worth it because there's not been anything like it since.
It's a brilliant battle system, isn't it?
The battle system's great fun, and the story. I mean, it's quite short for an RPG, but the story's beautiful, and the atmosphere of it is just like truly unique.
Sorry, my number 14 wrestling game, and it's Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 on the N64. Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 on the N64 is the same game engine that things like No Mercy, WWF No Mercy had. But Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 is better purely because it has more in it. It has more content. It has a kind of shoot fighting mode, almost like an MMA mode in it and stuff. It's really, really fully featured. It's really slick, really smooth. Features Japanese wrestlers. It's that style of game. The grapple, the long grapple, the strikes, the long strikes, the just picking up with the shoulder button. I just love it. You know what I mean? I just love, and with that N64 stick, it's just.
Is that still the special?
Yeah. I just love the games. I love the crunch and the feel of the games. And my favourite of the bunch is Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. That's why it is number 14 on my list. Moving on to number 13s now. Yes? No, we're on 14.
14.
Still on 14s.
My number 14, Micro Machines on the N64. Another N64 game, one of the most fun, playable multiplayer games ever made. Beautiful platforms to play around and just so much fun. Actually, I think on the N64 you could play it as an 8-player as well, for proper good party play game as well. Micro Machines.
14?
Number 14 is an indie game. I don't know if either of you have played it actually, but it's one of the most emotional experiences I've ever had playing a game, and it's To the Moon. To the Moon is just a beautiful, beautiful tale of a dying man who has it's set in there's science fiction vibe to it because the company can make a wish come true basically before this man dies, and you travel back through his timeline as it tells the stories of his life, and it absolutely fucking floored me the first time I watched it, and even when I watch other people play it on YouTube and see them getting emotional, it hits you again. The music is perfect, the story is beautifully told, and it's like a miracle. It's like a miracle, and I can't believe if To the Moon was in like the film industry, it would have been remade and they'd have thrown money at it by now, but that doesn't happen in games, and it doesn't really need to happen because you can play it for like a few quid. So if you haven't played To the Moon, treat yourself and play that.
You saying they don't need to remake films because you could just watch the film again?
No, I'm saying they would remake To the Moon as a film, but
and they'd remake it worse.
Probably.
So good.
Number 13 for me is an RPG game that was originally it's another Nintendo game. I was surprised here. It's Xenoblade Chronicles.
Everyone, let's go! Let me at him.
I don't want anyone dying out there.
Xenoblade Chronicles took me by surprise a wee bit because I wasn't really expecting it to be as good as it was. I kind of fell out of love with the Japanese RPG to an extent, and Xenoblade Chronicles felt like a return to what I loved about Japanese RPGs. It was deep, it was broad in scope, it had great characters, great combat, a world that was just amazing to explore, just a beautiful world to explore that had a level of kind of verticality in it that you didn't normally get in games of that type.
Okay. 13? Mm-hmm. The first person shooter. Can you guess?
Overlander.
N64. GoldenEye. GoldenEye, almost self-explanatory. Should probably, now that I'm thinking about it, be much higher up on my list. There's something about N64 was just great for multiplayer games. Obviously the multiplayer on GoldenEye was what gave it that replay value that everyone kept coming back to. But you know what, the story was great as well. It was a classic film and it had a beautiful vibe
was
about
it. Was it a film as well?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I think it's Roger Daltrey. Yeah. I just absolutely loved it, and then I would go back and play the single player mode and just enjoy shooting, just seeing how big you can make the explosions, just keep firing grenade launchers everywhere, and when guys respawn, just going back to it, just enjoying creeping up on guys and stuff like that. It was phenomenal to see for the first time.
It's one of the first games I remember GoldenEye where I tried the multiplayer and it ruined it for me.
Really?
Because I realised how fucking terrible I was at it, so I was like, well, this isn't fun anymore.
I think it's one of those games that if you see it makes you buy a console. You're like, right, well, I need to get an N64 then. GoldenEye was incredible.
Me, number 13. Is that right? Aye, number 13. Not that old a game. Now, going back to what I was saying about Resident Evil 4 and how perfect it is in every department, this is a game that is not perfect in every department, but my affection for the things that it does well puts it higher on my list, and that is The Last of Us. That's low. Fucking. The mic wasn't on the table, I'd be going bananas by now. The characters in The Last of Us are second to none, really. The relationship between Joel and Ellie was just fucking like something I'd never been a part of before in a game. People say that the combat.
You've got The Last of Us above Resident Evil 4.
Yes. But I'm trying to explain to you why.
Okay.
Because I didn't have an emotional engagement as much with Resident Evil. That's what I like about the games. I like the story. That's why I play in the games a lot of the time, because I like the storytelling of them. That's what I like about it. You should play it because it's beautiful. And the DLC is astonishingly complementary to the main story. Don't know if the second one will be any good.
Is it on the PS3 rather than PS4?
I've got
It was
it on
re-released,
base.
wasn't it? I need to try it.
Ah,
Is it worth
what?
it? Is it worth doing the PS4 version? Is it worth it as a difference?
I've got it, but I've not actually played it all the way through.
There we
It doesn't
go.
really make. I mean, it doesn't make much of a difference to me, the graphical upgrade.
Right. My number 12. Another game is Syndicate. Which was absolutely mind-blowing at the time. Just what an immersive world to drop yourself into, a world of intrigue and corporate corruption. Fantastic game, fantastic concept. A lot of games start with a really beautiful concept, and Syndicate was such a fully realised world that you could just totally throw yourself at it. Syndicate, I'm even now that I'm looking at it, thinking about it, maybe should be higher as well, but Syndicate on the Amiga was probably maybe the best game on the Amiga.
Remember that cutscene at the start where the guy throws the cup through the screen?
Oh yeah, like the
screen was.
Oh, the intro as well. The intro for Syndicate was like incredible. You're like, oh my god, check the graphics! Come here, check the graphics on this intro. And that really set the world. Actually, that intro is so important to that game because it sets that world.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant. Syndicate on the.
Miniguns, you like the miniguns?
Of course, I like the miniguns. Eventually, that's all you use, isn't it?
Yeah.
Miniguns. Just
Number
loads of
12,
miniguns.
Ryan.
And the Persuader.
And the Persuadertron, and you just have it.
Number 12, another From Software PS3 game, and actually it's Demon Souls. I'd played Demon Souls. What, you raging about that as well? I'd actually played Demon Souls after Dark Souls and was fucking really taken aback by how good it is and how different it is in the way it's designed, because it's much smaller and much more intimate than the Dark Souls games. If you like that type of game and playing that game and you want more Dark Souls, more amazing Dark Souls, play Demon Souls. But the servers are doing this, so you'll need it by yourself. The Man-Eaters were probably still the worst boss battle in any of the Souls games for me. They fucking killed me many times.
My number 12 is a Commodore 64 game, and it's Mule. Mule, it was MULE, was like very much like a board game almost, in computer game form, where you are settling a planet, building a farm on a planet, sending your robotic mules out today, you're farming, doing a bit of trading, terrible freak events would occur. I just loved Mule. It was a big multiplayer game at a time when there was a lack of them, really. A multiplayer game of that type where you could have like 3-4 players all joining in or trading with each other or doing that kind of thing. And it's a game that still stands up, even though even though it has its crude graphics and stuff like that. It's like it has all the graphics that it needs. It has everything it needs. There's no an ounce of fat on it, and it's just a brilliant game. And if you talk about stripping everything down to gameplay, this is just a fantastically designed, brilliant economic trading game. Quick, easy, fun.
Number 11. My number 11, I have brought a few football games to this top 100 list. I know I've had a couple of Pro Evos in it. This is going to be an entry for FIFA. Now I think I've got the right one. Someone actually tweeted, and I was talking to you about this before, Rab, someone tweeted us the other day about how in a particular FIFA game, if you got booked or sent off, you could run away from the referee. I think it is FIFA 94. But what a great game as well. Again, a lot of the games I really liked were like multiplayers, games that brought people together. Football games used to kind of do that before people just abused each other online playing them. Back when games were fun, back when FIFA was fun, FIFA 94, and see how long you could not get booked by the referee as a little side game there.
My number 11, I swear to you a wee bit earlier, I dropped in the wee, but this is the highest arcade racing game on my list, no, that with FCOX. Wasn't actually true, it was a wee swerve for you, because the highest arcade racing game on my list is here at number 11, and it's Outrun 2. Outrun 2 is just a big blast of sunshine, blue skies. It's a game you can sit down and you can play and you can finish in about 15 minutes or something. It's a game, it's a rich game that you can kind of explore and improve your times and stuff like that. And it's just the feeling you get when you're playing Outrun 2 is like nothing else. This is gameplay, sunny day gameplay.
It's like turning on a sat lamp on, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a lifestyle choice. It's like you could be that guy. You could enjoy yourself to this level.
This is the kind of game that Sega is good at. Sega are good at these kind of games that give you this kind of blue sky, carefree feeling, and always a lot of heart in Sega games. Outrun 2.
Right, so your last one?
That was my number 11.
Me?
You're last.
Yeah.
No, you're
you?
I'm the last one.
Last one.
Oh, right, okay. So I already picked Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was my second favourite game of 2017, and my number 11 on my top 100 list is my favourite game from 2017, which was Nier Automata. And Nier Automata is a combination of a creative genius and a studio that is incredible at building games, and it's perfectly pitched at me. It's exactly what I like. It's that kind of future and that kind of topics that it deals with AI and all that philosophical stuff. So it hit me, and I love Lassie's Knickers. I'm really into Lassie's Knickers. So if you want to know what to get me for my birthday, get me Nier Automata merchandise or your Knickers, mate.
That's a nice place to leave it. A wee bit sexist, a wee bit disrespectful.
How can
I'm talking to the boys here.
How
here,
can a game be
the
on the
boys'
list
Knickers.
that is basically called Nier Automata? Like storing Nier Automata?
Like Nier
It's fucking
Automata.
ridiculous.
I haven't thought of that before.
Nier Automata.
Nier Automata.
And Knickers, that's what you can take away from that.
Can I change my mind?
Thanks for watching. We'll be back with the top 10, which will be an extra long episode, or it'll be 33 minutes long.
That's probably too close. You need to just be near Automata.